Hey guys, want to know how closely Jair Bolsonaro resembles Donald Trump? A little more than you'd think, as apparently he's dialed back Brazil's environmental protections, citing that financial protections towards the environment and global warming is actually unfair and even brutal to Brazilian farmers, making their life just a little harder. Now, environmentalists have been very critical of Bolsonaro and are afraid that this is going to increase deforestation, but according to data that has been collected on that issue, deforestation of the Amazon has actually gone down 34% in the last 4 months. Although, for some reason, that data comes from, let's see what they were called, INPE, which is Brazil's space agency. What does space got to do with deforestation? Ugh, that seems like a really weird relationship, but anyway. Oh, it wasn't the last 4 months, it was 34% year on year in the first 4 months of the year, according to data. Right. So, a lot of people have been panicking about this decision by Bolsonaro, yet no significant changes towards global warming have occurred. Deforestation has still decreased, and no major issues have come yet as of this, due to Bolsonaro's decision to basically ignore the China deal. Similar to Trump. Kind of interesting how you pull out of the deal, you do your own thing, everybody panics, but no disasters happen. That seems very interesting to me. And yet, he was still criticized quite heavily by, what was his name? It was here. I saw it. What was his name? Ah, there it is. Environment Minister Ricardo Salles. And I might not even be saying that right. But he criticized a lack of action in a variety of areas by previous governments. He defended moving the authority over Forest Service and Water Agency, or ANA, to other ministries, saying it would help kickstart action in those areas. He said, "We reaffirm our commitment to combat illegal deforestation with effective actions, and not merely rhetoric." So they're still dedicated to combating the deforestation of the Amazon rainforest, which is a valuable practice, because that is a big portion of what keeps producing our oxygen. The Amazon rainforest is, whether you believe in global warming or not, the Amazon rainforest is absolutely critical to survival on Earth because how much oxygen is made by those damn trees. A biggest portion is by the Amazon rainforest. But back as to why Bolsonaro was doing this, as I said before, had to do with farmers. On the campaign trail, he railed against it, against these protections, calling them an industry of environmental fines targeting farmers, and at one point considering pulling out of the Paris Agreement. Paris Agreement. I thought it was China Agreement. Blah, 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 blah. That's a completely different part of the Earth. He still maintains climate change may not be man-made. And I sort of doubt it too. My position on this is that global warming and climate change is just a natural process. And scientists are hoping that it's man-made so they can do something about it. Because that would be preferable to the other possibility. Because as I often say, the data supports more than one conclusion. You look up in the information, there is another possible outcome. One that is a lot less Well, it's a lot more bleak, that being another ice age, which means a lot of dead people. A particular model of how the ice age occurs comes to mind. The Earth starts to heat up, the ice melts, it spreads as far as it can go in the form of water. Then, as we all know, a form of gas is heated gas will eventually rise. The lower atmosphere will be heated and rise, which will force the now very cold upper atmosphere to rush down, thusly freezing the water and making it into ice again. The data fits this model quite well. So what we're looking at could very well be another ice age. Scientists don't want to think about that possibility because, for one, that would mean there's nothing we could do about it, and there'd be a lot of dead people. On the other hand, if it's anthropogenic global warming, that is a much more optimistic appraisal of the situation, to paraphrase Darth Vader. Personally, I'm the type that usually embraces reality, regardless of however bleak it might be. And I'm just saying, like, hey, you know what? It's probably just going to be another ice age. I mean, I realize that's a really horrible, messed up thing, but the sooner you accept it, the easier it will be to live with it. I personally think that the worst case scenario in this case is the most realistic. And I understand that that is a very bleak sort of future, but sometimes it just is what it is. In which case, these environmental protections are really just horrible nonsense that make life unnecessarily difficult. I would like the scientists to look more into it more before concluding that it is somehow human-caused. Try and look into the possibility that it might just be a natural mechanism first. Look into that more before just deciding, oh, that can't be it. I think they should try and look into it more first. Now, his remarks are what caused fear among the environmentalists of deforestation. But as I said, while they expect a spike, no spike has occurred. In fact, it's decreased so much that any anticipated spike is literally just not going to happen, at least not anytime soon. Bottom line is, as far as deforestation is, it's going down. They're good. So there's really no serious harm by Bolsonaro making this decision. So there you go. Bolsonaro decides to try and pull out of the Paris deal. He's goes for dismantling Brazil's environmental protections. He's got plenty of ex-ministers of their government blasting him and insulting him and criticizing him heavily, but no serious negative repercussions have come out of this yet. In fact, everything seems to be getting a little better. So their panicking and criticizing seems a little petty. Anyway, have yourselves a good day, folks.